Peabody's Improbable History was a bunch of animated shorts, part of the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, created in 1959 and went into the 60s, about a dog and his, I guess, son, whose name is Sherman, who go back in time to do hijinks, basically. Why am I telling you this? Well, someone at DreamWorks thought, let's make a movie out of that. Mr. Peabody and Sherman is a movie that was released in 2014, part of the DreamWorks' 3-film movie thing they do sometimes. It wasn't a good year for them. Let's just say they lost a lot of money. But, yeah, this movie is really, really hard to explain because the premise itself is just hard to make out. But believe it or not, it's good, but it's so hard to explain. But hey, I'll get my best shot. So a long time ago, there's this dog whose name, I don't know his name. We know his last name, we don't know his first name. But no one wants him because he's too intellectual, basically.
I don't want this one, Mommy. He's sarcastic.
So the dog grows up to be the smartest dog. Well, that's obvious, but no smartest guy ever, and creates a bunch of shit, basically. I mean, this guy even solved world peace. How does he do it? By just saying, give peace a chance. And everyone agrees. Oh, he's also mastered time travel. And he has a son that's a human that he adopted. Do you see why this movie's so hard to explain? It's a dog whose time travels to teach his adopted human son about history. So they travel around a lot of places, like the French Revolution here in 1789. And they travel a lot to different locations, so if you like history, like me, this is a movie for you. But you don't like history, you may not like it, but at the same time, there's a lot of jokes. Like, Marie Antoinette loves cake. She likes it a little too much, though. By the way, this movie's interpretation of the French Revolution is that Marie Antoinette loves cake so much that she forgets to take care of the other French people, so they get pissed off about that. There's actually a misquote, a famous misquote, that says, let them eat cake, which is not an actual real saying that she ever said. So I guess Peabody forgot to watch out for his adopted son here during one of the most dangerous times on Earth, at least in France at least. He's too busy eating cake, but they get trapped in the French Revolution. As Robespierre here is like, we're gonna kill this dog. So the movie ends pretty quickly because he gets his head chopped off.
Off with his head!
So he actually doesn't die. It turns out a cantaloupe died instead.
A cantaloupe? The lowest of the fruits.
I gotta agree with Robespierre here. Cantaloupes fucking suck. It turns out Mr. Peabody's alive. How's he alive? Well,
I noticed the distance between the sewer lids, reasoned that there must be one directly under the guillotine platform, noted the loose board under the basket, computed the angle at which the setting sun would bounce off your glasses, momentarily blinding the executioner, and chose that moment to swipe the executioner's melon, giving me the added weight to tip the boards, facilitating my exit.
That water tastes terrible.
Interestingly, that's not water.
so did you learn your lesson? Well, the lesson is that you gotta share your cake. Quite literally, that's the whole lesson of this. You're supposed to learn a lesson to go to history, and that's the lesson. Share cake. They tell a lot of puns in the movie. I'm not gonna play them all, but there's a ton of puns. So the next day, Sherman here goes to school, and he obviously knows a lot of shit, especially about history, since he goes time travels. But not everybody likes this because he disproves facts that are wrong about George Washington chopping down a cherry tree, which, yeah, that makes sense. That never happened, but at the same time, movie, you did say that Marie Antoinette said, let them eat cake, which is a saying that she never said, so this movie looks to have its cake and eat it, too. Get what I did there? So this girl, whose name is Penny, tries to bully Sherman because his father's a dog, and she calls him a dog, but then he simps over her later, which is kind of weird. Yeah. I mean, he's a little freaky. He did bite her, like, geez Louise. There's also this bitchy woman who hates dogs, apparently, and says dogs are unsuitable to be fathers, so if you don't get your act together, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Not kill you, they're gonna get rid of the kid. The child. So Mr. Peabody thinks it's a good idea to invite the parents of the girl over because to make amends or something like that. It's kind of weird, and he doesn't tell his son because I don't know why. He's busy making ducks, I guess, or quail, whatever. Obviously, this doesn't go too well, but the guy here has a chiropractic emergency, and he does some chiropractic adjustments to fix his back.
A licensed chiropractor.
Being the dumb kitty that he is, Sherman is like, I'm going to show this girl who I think is hot, and she bullied me, the Wayback Machine. And obviously, it goes badly. And she's like, I don't want to go back. I want to stay in ancient Egypt, bitch. But she has to go back because obviously it doesn't make any sense to be here. And also, she'll die, basically, because her husband, who's King Tut, is going to die soon. They at least know that part of history. So in order to save her, they pretend to be Anubis and say, "Free her, you bitch." And they're like, okay. Well, actually, they're not okay because they had to run away at the end. So after escaping from ancient Egypt, the machine doesn't have enough energy, so they go to Florence, Italy in 1508, we couldn't read there, to visit Leonardo da Vinci. But he's like, I gotta finish painting this bitch known as Mona Lisa, and I hate her. She can't smile, but she finally smiles when she sees a dog with tits. Ever want to know why Mona Lisa's smiling? It's because she saw a dog with tits. Also, I guess since Sherman likes her now, it's revealed in the ADD, I forgot to say that he likes this girl. You know, like I said, she bullied him. I guess she kind of likes him too, I guess. And basically, she gets him to do stuff that he's not really supposed to, like fly this machine here. So there's like a fight, and they go to the Trojan War. Though unfortunately, Mr. Peabody dies during this war. I'm skipping over this because I recommend you watching it yourself, because me explaining it's not going to make any sense. There's too much to explain, so let's get over with. Watch the movie yourself. I trust me, it's good. You know, it sounds kind of weird. It is good. So Sherman here breaks the time barrier by going back in time to where he existed in order to try to save Mr. Peabody, but the other Mr. Peabody who died actually is still alive because he saved himself. And this bitch is like, fuck you. You're going to get arrested for doing such terrible things to this kid by duplicating him. Also, the two clones fuse together, I guess, and that's how that works. So since Mr. Peabody doesn't like Karen, he decides it's a good idea to bite her. Like father, like son. They decide to run away from their problems by time traveling to fix it, but unfortunately there's a rip in time from them merging, I guess, and a bunch of... they can't time travel, and a bunch of historical figures come crashing down in, I guess, New York. It's always New York! But that's okay, since these historical figures are going to help Mr. Peabody by law say, George Washington's here is like, I'm going to rewrite the law to make him not go to the dog pound, basically. He's backed up by Abraham Lincoln and, of course, Bill Clinton.
I hereby award Mr. Peabody a presidential pardon. Me too. I've done worse.
Oh yeah, they fixed the time barrier by traveling like 2 seconds into the future, and that's going to fix it, I guess. It's not really that well explained. Also, in case you're wondering what happened to the Karen bitch, this Trojan guy's like, you know what, I'm going to take her as my bride. And yeah, I guess that's her end. She has to go to the Trojan War, and she'll probably die of disease. So I guess it'd be like, too bad for that woman, huh? But no, she's actually happy to marry this guy. I guess she likes Patrick Warburton a lot. And that's the end of the movie. Mr. Peabody and Sherman gets a 7 or a 3.5 out of 5. It's a good movie, but it's ultimately a very weird one. And it's funny, but I'm not sure if it's for everybody's taste. I do recommend you watching this at least once. And just for the Bill Clinton joke alone, I first saw that, I did crack up quite a bit. Because I thought it was really funny. It still is, too. Like, Bill Clinton just shows up like, I've done worse. I guess it's something that only I would find funny. But hey, there's going to be something in there for you in this movie. But it is kind of a clusterfuck of a movie where a bunch of shit is thrown at you. And sometimes it works, sometimes it goes, eh. This time, I still enjoy this movie. It's a fun watch. But I don't think it's one of the best movies of all time. But it's definitely one, if you haven't seen before, to watch. Because it is very interesting. But I feel like there's some things that would change a little bit. More, maybe better historical accuracy for some things. I know it's supposed to be a joke. But, you know, and it's good. I don't really know how I would change it, but I got nothing to say. It's a weird movie. I say go watch it. So the movie goes into the C tier. It's a 7 movie, 10 movie, and I'm very close to putting it in B tier. In fact, originally I was considering putting it in a B tier, but I don't know, something about this time when I watched it, I was like, you know, I feel like there's a little something missing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not jiving with it as much. You might see a different change by tomorrow. I might think, maybe it is an A tier. 8 out of 10. But who the hell knows? So right now it's in C tier. Top of C tier. Borderline B tier. The villain woman, who I don't know her name, she's a Karen. Screw her. She does her job well, but the weird thing that you think she's going to get like an ending that would be satisfactory to see, like her getting trapped in ancient time, but no, she's happy there, so I don't really get it, but not much to say about her. She's not that interesting, and it's really not that big part of the movie. But anyway, next time, when we do the next stream for the movie, it will be How to Train Your Dragon 2. See you then.